afternoon, good evening, whichever part of the world you are joining us from. Global Council for the Promotion of International Trade, GCPIT, is proud to welcome you all to this prestigious event, the Global Sustainability Awards 2021. Global Council for the Promotion of International Trade, or GCPIT, is one of the fastest growing organizations based out of India, South Africa, UK, and US, with board and council member representation across the world. The objective of this organization is to implement relevant major national development strategies, promote foreign trade, bilateral investment, and economic and technological cooperation, carry forward cooperation with overseas trade promotion counterparts, receive overseas high-end trade and economic delegations, and much, much more. Since our launch, we have been organizing many premium online events like the Global Leadership Dialogue, Global Women's Business Summit, the Womenomics Global Mission, the Global Technology Summit, the Global Innovation Incubation and Entrepreneurship Summit, the Global Women in Trade Summit, only to name a few. At GCPIT, we are constantly on the lookout for new and innovative ways to assist businesses in expanding their global reach. And it is with this vision that we celebrated the Global Sustainable Development Summit 2021, which lasted for 3 months, focusing on each SDG in detail, with a focus on how SMEs can support and at the same time gain by following the roadmap provided by the SDGs. We didn't stop there. As per our commitment made during the Global Sustainability Summit, we launched the magazine Sustainomics, covering articles and research papers focusing on sustainability. And today we are celebrating the Global Sustainability Awards 2021, which is GCPIT's next step towards supporting the people and the planet. Through the Global Sustainability Awards, individuals and organizations are being recognized and honored today for their remarkable achievements, commitment, and activities that have had a positive influence on sustainability. The Global Sustainability Awards are recognizing those who have incorporated sustainability into their business practices. The Global Sustainability Awards will also serve as an inspiration for inclusive transformative action, business excellence, and environmental management around the world, by helping to improve natural resource management, demonstrating new ways to combat climate change, or by raising awareness of emerging sustainable challenges. We all know that our Earth is the most valuable asset that we all businesses share. Individual and corporate initiatives to preserve this critical resource are not only necessary, but also profitable in the long run. Seeking acknowledgement for your environmental friendly effort is also a wise commercial decision. We take this opportunity to congratulate all the nominees for taking the first step towards distinguishing your company from the competition. We are proud to have received nominations from young children who are really role models and inspiration for countless kids and people of all age groups. At an age when kids are busy learning the basics of life, we are proud to see that these children are leading global environmental initiatives. They give us hope and give strength to our belief that we are on the right track. We also have very experienced leaders and nominees who inspire us to do more and are great role models for us in our journey towards sustainability and towards creating a beautiful world for our future generations. For learning more from these great leaders and many others across the globe, GCPIT has launched the Great Leaders Council, which will promote innovation, partnership, sustainability, and impact leadership. And as the first step, we have launched the 1000 Great Leaders and the Global Mentor of Change initiatives. We invite you to be part of these great initiatives where we are creating more and more leaders. Before we begin, let me introduce myself. I'm Aparna G. Kumar, the Global Co-Chairperson of GCPIT and your host for today. On behalf of GCPIT, I wish to thank you all for all the support you have been giving us and also all the initiatives we launched. Looking forward to your support in the future as well. Let us begin the celebrations with the address by our chief guest. Let me proudly invite our chief guest of today, Shri Vinamra Mishra, Director, Technical and Projects, Ministry of MSME, Government of India. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your having me. I want to thank the GCPIT for putting all of this together. There's nothing that really promotes the idea and the concept that sustainability and trade are inextricably linked more than an organization like this, where we realize that good business and good trade comes with an underlying backbone of sustainability, and the folks that are being honored here together today are models of that effort. So I should start by saying I've been a warrior and I've been a healer. I've found that there's nothing more powerful on this planet than a person who leverages their unique gifts from God and gathers them together with many others who have knowledge garnered from the success and failures of their own lives into a collective wisdom, and then set out to change the world. The philosopher Seneca said, he would do great things, should not attempt them alone. And there are sayings in many languages and many cultures that essentially say the same thing. My hope for you today is that you leave encouraged by the work of these honorees, our heroes that are often not seen by the rest of the world, but are doing the work of heroes we know. And I hope that you leave empowered with some valuable new knowledge, motivated to do great things by building or joining a movement. For those of us who are witness to this work, the brilliant minds, and in this group, young and old, I pray we come alongside them in any way we can to help them build this movement. For my donation to the effort, I'll share a quick story and maybe promote a passion of mine, which is the creation of systems. Nature in all of its complexity is the most powerful system in the universe. Sustainability and trade are inextricably linked, as I said earlier, and both prosper the most when over time they're integrated together. And while the planet evolves, humans are also evolving, and there's a lot of good news out there. All we hear about is the things that are going bad. But immediately prior to COVID, we had a smaller percentage of the population starving than ever before. We also saw the smallest percentage of people living in poverty or suffering from incurable disease in history. But it's getting much harder to create change and opportunity for the poorest of the poor. As we work our way down the pyramid, we realize that it's harder to create that change. To really solve these problems, we have to, one, catalyze change through those who are already in the cash economy, integrate solutions into a system to ensure that these solutions are sustainable and resilient, as well as the people that we're serving with those. I'll give you an example of what I've learned over the past decade alone. In sub-Saharan Africa, what they would call maize, I think in India we call maca, 5 countries, $50 million were invested into a project to help improve the quality of maize being grown, to promote better seed hybridization and replication and distribution, because the quality of maize was so poor. And sure enough, after a season of growing seeds and planting and then sending those seeds out to farmers, all of these farmers in 5 different countries all grew more than 3 times the maize that they had ever grown before. Day one, it seemed like a huge success. But within 2 weeks, the prices in 2 of the countries crashed because there was no offtake, there was no market. There weren't enough people that knew that this maize was available. In 3 other countries in East Africa, all of the maize grown had aflatoxin because it hadn't been irrigated properly and harvested properly, and they didn't have sufficient storage systems. We can't ignore the need for systems. And what we see as a unique game-changing technology oftentimes finds scale only when it's integrated as part of a system. What we did with our media company is an example of this. Our teaching thousands of people on farms each year was eclipsed because we were teaching them directly, and we thought we went from 1,000 to 6,000 and 9,000 people. But the world needs us to take 600 plus million farmers out of poverty. 600 million plus. We're not going to do that with 100 people or 1,000 people at a time unless we gather massive groups of people doing the same thing in systems, or we catalyze technologies and other things inside of a system. With us, we realized that we could reach millions of people independently using television and radio. And now, just a few years later, multiple studies show that we're lifting more than 1.5 million people out of poverty every year. simply by reaching them every single week on TV and radio and giving them the systems that they need, the people, the support, the education, the access to finance, all of those things through this ecosystem. We knew farmers needed education to grow more and better, and we knew they needed better inputs, better seeds and fertilizers, irrigation. And once underway, they needed financing to take their production from subsistence to profitable business. And the farmer and the banker needed to know that the farmer had a dependable market. These four things, this education, access to finance, access to inputs, and access to markets, created the core elements of the system that we desired. And so the honorees today are doing groundbreaking research, leading new ways of thinking and empowering others with improved access, powerful technologies, and unique ways of communicating. I've just been, I can't help but smile when I look at the work that you all have done. And now we're reaching more people faster and more efficiently than ever before. You're literally planting the seeds of opportunity that will turn into fields of opportunity that will in the long term sustain not only the people of India, but the people of the world. And I think I speak for millions of others when I say thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Richard Lackey, for joining us today and inspiring us, and for all the support you have been giving to GCPIT. Now it's time to listen to our guest of honor. We have with us Dr. Poonam Malik. She is a board non-executive director and advisor, startups growth executive and mentor. She is a social entrepreneur, keynote speaker, and expert on STEM, health, life sciences, on tech, mid-tech, clean, digital, and data, and a global scout helping founders. She has always been a rock-solid support and a great inspiration to all of us at GCPIT. It's great to have you with us today, Dr. Poonam. Over to you for your address.